You will learn about the music staff, clef signs, note values, time signatures, and the open strings of a guitar. First, music is written on a music staff. A staff note has 5 lines and 4 spaces. Without a clef sign, you can't tell what the notes are. As the notes go higher, they will appear higher on the staff, and lower notes are lower. There are 3 main clef signs. First, the treble clef, also called the G clef. Then there's the alto clef, which is also called the C clef. And finally, the bass clef, or F clef. Here is where a note called middle C is located on all 3 clef signs. The treble clef tends to have higher notes than the other 2 clef signs. A treble clef is called the G clef because it looks similar to the letter G and has a little circle around that second line, which is the note G. The C clef is centered around the note C, and the F clef has 2 dots around the second to the top line, which is the note F. Here are the notes on the guitar. Guitar music is written with a treble clef. It actually sounds an octave lower than it's written. Here are the notes on the first 12 frets of your guitar. In a couple months, Lord willing, you will know all of these notes and be able to play them in any position on your guitar. Very exciting. Let's look first at the notes on a musical staff with a treble clef. Remember that the G is on the second line because of the G clef sign. In music, there are just 7 notes. It goes from A to G and then starts over again. The note after G is A, and then it just goes up the alphabet. Of course, we can't forget that E and F that are before the note G. Here are some ways to help you memorize these notes. First, we'll look at the notes on the 5 lines. You can recall that important G note on the second line. Then it's B, D, F, and the first is the note E. E, G, B, D, F. There are some phrases you can use to remember these notes. The common one is, every good boy does fine. But you can also use, every good boy drinks fudge. For the spaces, it's easy to remember. It just spells the word face. We've talked about the note names. Now we'll cover the note values or rhythm. A whole note usually gets 4 beats. A half note gets 2 beats. A quarter note gets 1 beat. And an eighth note usually gets a half beat. Therefore, a whole note equals 2 half notes or 4 quarter notes or 8 eighth notes. On a music staff is something called the time signature. 4/4 time is the most common time signature. The time signature is the number after the clef sign and answers 2 questions. The upper number answers the question, how many beats are there in a measure? The bottom number answers the question, what kind of note gets 1 beat? The little 4 stands for a quarter note. What's a measure, you ask? The vertical lines of the staff are called bar lines. Between the bar lines are the measures. Here are the notes on the open strings of the guitar. The first string is the note E. The second string is B. Third string is G. Fourth string is D. Fifth is A. And the sixth string is the note E. Now that you understand some of the basics, let's start playing these notes on the guitar.